What is going on, guys? B-Man27 here and welcome back to another video. Today is another Rocket League top 5. I'm going to be showing you my list of my top 5 favorite maps or stadiums in Rocket League. These are the maps that I usually get excited for when I join a game and it ends up being one of these maps. I'm going to be taking into account for the design, the shape of the map, and the background and crowd design. Anyways, before I delay any further, let's get into the top 5. The number 5 spot for this top 5 is Neo Tokyo. This map is really weirdly designed since it is not a regular shaped map. It's modeled after the Rocket Labs map called Underpass. It has a Tokyo theme to it that makes it look really colorful and cool. Neo Tokyo has these ridges that are on the sides that add a unique shape to this map. Bringing the ball around the sides to put into the goal is much easier on this map because of the way it is laid out. I personally really like the shape of Neo Tokyo because most people around my skill in 1v1 suck at defense and even offense on this map, so usually I have an advantage over most people because I'm actually pretty good at countering that. They're actually going to be pulling this map from the competitive servers at the beginning of the drop shot update, but eventually it will return as a regular shaped map. If it was a standard map right now, it would be higher on the list because the standard shape is my favorite, but mainly the only reason why it's on this list is because of the looks. This is a pretty controversial pick because a lot of people hate Neo Tokyo, but some people really love it. I don't love it enough for it to make the top of this list, but it does make the number 5 spot. Moving down to the number 4 spot, I have Beckwith Park. This is the first classic grassy map to appear on this list. It has some unique features that are very interesting and aren't in any other maps. First off, unless you count the sand on Wasteland, it is the only map to have patches of dirt on the ground. This layout for the field lines are pretty cool because it has these groups and stripes on the sides and more towards the middle. When you look outside the playable area, you notice that there's a tall row of thin trees surrounding the sides of the map. It also has a bunch of Rocket League banners everywhere on the light posts. Off in the background, you can actually see a bunch of buildings and even some mountains. I don't even know if you can call this a stadium because most maps have giant huge seats for the crowd, but here there are just a few bleachers that no one is even sitting at. Overall, Beckwith Park is a nice sunshiny bright map that has a very good look to it. On to number 3, we have Urban Central. This map has a very different vibe to most maps, but I really like it. I don't know why, but I've had some pretty memorable games that I remember were specifically on this map. I like the few little patches of grass that there are, and the rest of the ground is just asphalt or something like that. I also like the design and where the lines and the grass patches are laid out. This whole theme for a map is very different, and I like that it is in the middle of an urban train station. The statue of the cars and the balls in each corner are very cool as well. I also like all of the tire marks all over the ground that give it a cool aesthetic. You know how I said that you couldn't really call Beckwith Park a stadium because there are hardly any seats? Well, you definitely can't call this a stadium because there are no seats. One cool thing about the outside is that it is raining and all dark and gloomy, but in the map itself it's well lit and looks really cool. One cool feature is that when you score, the clock above the goal spazzes out and you always hear a train whistle. The architecture of this map was very detailed and you can tell it took a lot of time to make. Urban Central makes a number 3 spot because of the attention to architectural detail and its unique vibe. Moving down to the number 2 spot, I have Manfield. I've talked a lot about whether or not you can really call different maps a stadium, but Manfield definitely earns that title. It also has so many seats all over the place with tons of little circles observing the game. It has an open sky on top with glass panes that cover over some of the field and most of the crowd. Just like with Beckwith, off in the background there are a bunch of buildings and mountains. In random spots all over the crowd there are groups of flags that are just being waved by people. I really like the way the map is lit from the big stadium lights attached to the ceiling. Another interesting thing is that in the corners there are these road signs that point in towards the goal. One key feature that you can't forget about is of course the flags. It's just really cool. I'm pretty sure the DFH Stadium also has these flags. But anyways, Manfield is a very cool looking map and it has an interesting vibe that puts it into the number 2 spot. Before I get into the number 1 spot, I do believe that there is a map that deserves an honorable mention. I think the Starbase arc is the best looking map and it is also very different from everything else. But the one major fallback that makes almost everyone hate it is the octagonal shape. If they do the thing that they're going to be doing with Neo Tokyo, it would definitely be my favorite map. I think that everyone can agree the Starbase arc would be 10 times better if it was just a standard shaped map. The thing I like the most about the theme of the map is that the guns shoot off whenever you score. The fact that there is an announcer is also pretty cool, but the thing is that you can barely understand him. Anyways, I just wanted to mention Starbase arc because it is the coolest looking map, and it would be my favorite map if Psyonix changed it. So the pick for my number 1 favorite stadium in Rocket League is Utopia Coliseum. This is my favorite map, and I don't know why, but it just looks so good. It has a feeling to it that for some reason I just really like. The way the grass and the lines in the grass are set up, along with the little section of the lines and tiles, just looks so good. Another thing that adds a ton of style points is the tile sections being outlined by the short, shallow bushes. The edges of this field have a really cool tile design, along with there being vines growing out of the bottom of the glass. One side of the map has plenty of spaces for the crowd to be and is mostly shaded by cool banners with the Rocket League symbol on them. There are tons of statues of the Octane car, and one has 2 cars boosting towards the ball that is being spun by a fountain. The overall architecture is like a coliseum, which I guess is where Utopia Coliseum gets its title. On the other side of the map, there is a big castle sort of thing with tons of trees, bushes, and vines. It has a bunch more statues and water fountains. There is a whole level of the castle that seems like you could walk on with tons of umbrellas shading tables. The whole stadium just looks like an amazing vacation spot, and it would be cool to see an actual real sporting event there. So those are my top 5 favorite stadiums in Rocket League. Let me know what your favorite stadiums are in the comments, because I'm honestly curious to see what you think. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.